Yes, so joining me today, Meka Whaitiri, Labour Party MP for Te Ikaroa-Rāwhiti. Morena, thanks for joining us. You've spoken with Bruce Smith. What do you make of his story, his experience?
Yeah, it's a very sad situation that's occurred in terms of the farm that Bruce has been farming for many years. You know, it just shows that something untoward has gone on in this particular situation, and you know, from that clip there, that Bruce is very passionate about the whenua, as is his children.
Why do you say untoward? I mean, isn't this a case of Te Tumu Paeroa merely exercising its legitimate power? 60%
shareholdings voices clearly hasn't been heard, according to Jana, his daughter. You know, I've had the fortune to speak to both Jana and meet Bruce. I've also tried to speak to the other side of the equation, the other Smith family. I've also tried to talk to Te Tumu Paeroa, because obviously there's always two sides of any story. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get the other side of the story. But
and why is that? Because
well, you need to ask Te Tumu Paeroa.
They wouldn't speak to you? They said, we don't want to speak
they told
to you,
me
or you couldn't reach them?
No, I did reach them. I got told Wellington was going to deal with it and would call me back. That was Friday. I haven't heard anything back from them. But when I say untoward, here is a family that has worked this whenua for like 30 odd years. They've been on it since the 50s. From what I can gather, they're passionate about the land. They want their voice heard. They want to stay on the land. And between now and then, they've been evicted. And I guess the Māori Land Court is now addressing some of those concerns, but we have to wait till July.
So what do you want to see happen?
Well, clearly I want to see the family who have been on that land for many, many years to be sat around the table with all parties. Clearly this is an internal whānau thing between the Smiths. Only they can actually determine the way forward, but what I'm pushing for is that they all get around the table. They actually have a say in what happens to this whenua, because clearly it was something gifted to them. We don't have all the details, Miriama, which is why I'm saying from us outsiders, we're having to comment on the information we have got. And like I said, I've spoken to both Jana and Bruce, and I welcome the occasion to be spoken to.
You've spoken to them, you've also spoken to others in your electorate who are having similar issues with the Māori Trustee? Yes,
well, I'm getting reported, you know, people, whānau hapu wanting to buy land. I spoke with whānau from Whakaki, which is also my electorate, wanting to buy a farm next to the Head Tau. And I got told by them that they heard that the Māori Trust was coming in to buy, and they gave express concerns to the Māori Trust, stay out of this patch, we want to buy it. The Māori Trust bought it anyway. So my question around Te Tumu Paeroa, and again only they can answer that, is what is their role? When you look at what they say their role is to work with Māori landowners to build and protect their assets for now and going into the future.
Do you feel that they have too much power?
Well, clearly, you know, when you look at their annual reports, as I have, and seeing what they do, I wonder whether the investment side and the ability to buy land, particularly over whānau and over hapu, who also want to buy whenua because it's important to them, it begs the question on what is their role and how big they're getting. And I'd, for one, really keen to actually hear from the trustee himself as to what they're proposing to do going forward.
You raise an interesting question, because actually what's happening at the moment with the proposed reforms to Te Turu Whenua, I mean, that may affect the powers of the trustee potentially. What's your read on that?
I've been watching as they've gone around the country, particularly through Ikaroa-Rāwhiti. I've also spoken to major land holders, particularly up the East Coast, who have some concerns around what's proposed in terms of the reviewing of the Tū Whenua review. One of the biting issues around the review is the engaged owners. So there's a part in there that you, so long as you're engaged, you have the say. So for example, you could have 100 owners in a block of land, 10 might be engaged, 90 mightn't be for various reasons.
It's so tricky, isn't it? And there are
10,
going to be more and
10 will get to say what happens to that land, and 90 miss out.
And that's going to be a big issue that's going to have to be dealt with over time. I imagine we do have to leave it there, but we are going to come back to you very soon with Scotty.